Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jason Wall. I'm the new branch manager here at the Western Development Museum at Saskatoon. And I just wanted to welcome you and Minister Morgan, Mayor Aitchison, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and again, welcome to the Western Development Museum. I have to confess, I've been at the Western Development Museum for 9 weeks, and the things that I've seen happen here are truly amazing. So if all of a sudden I keel over, that's because of all the amazingness that happened just before. It's incredible to see how many people have come out for today's launch, and on behalf of the Western Development Museum and everybody involved, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the afternoon. We have quite the program for you. We're going to start with our official program, where we're going to launch the Cancer Bomb exhibit. Following that, we're going to have a short 15-minute break, and there'll be refreshments served over in the Lindner Gallery. So if you want to make your way over there and have some refreshments at that time, that would be great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a panel discussion that will start approximately at 2:15 when the formal part of this program is finished. The discussion will be led and moderated by our very own Joan Champ, who is the Western Development Museum's Executive Director. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in action after all the action she's put me through. The other thing I wanted to mention too, if you need anything, please look for people who have white name tags. They're part of my team and part of the Western Development Museum team. They'll be able to help you. And for those of you who might require the need of a washroom, they're just down the hall, through the exit, and across the hall. Before we get any further into this program, I'd like to recognize some special guests who are with us in the audience today. And if they could please either stand or wave to be acknowledged, I'd be most appreciative. Starting off, I'd like to acknowledge Minister Don Morgan, Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Minister of Labor Relations and Workplace Safety. It sounds like you have many jobs just like I do here at the Western Development Museum. We also have some MLAs with us today, and I saw one of them. If Miss Kathy Sproul from Saskatoon-Nutana could be acknowledged, thank you. And Miss Jennifer Campo from Saskatoon-Fairview. She's an incredibly busy young lady, so we weren't sure if she'd make it or not, and I'm afraid I missed a few people at the door there. I'd also like to introduce His Worship Saskatoon Mayor Don Aitchison, City of Saskatoon Councillor Marin Lowen. Is Marin here? Okay. Again, another very busy young lady. Dr. David Pantaloni, Canada Science and Technology Museum. Okay. Dr. Dean Chapman, U of S Canada Research Chair in X-ray Imaging. Dr. John Root, Interim Director for the Canadian Centre for Nuclear Innovation. Dr. Root's busy doing a lot of stuff today too, and he'll be here later for the panel discussion. Dr. Paul Babin, U of S College of Medicine and Saskatoon Health Region. He's just in the back for the people who, we didn't actually anticipate this filling up until the panel discussion, so Dr. Paul Babin's here. He waved at you like this. So there we go. Dr. Stuart Houston, U of S Professor Emeritus of Medical Imaging and Radiology. Dr. Paul Johns, who's actually the nephew of Dr. Harold Johns, Canada's first full-time cancer physicist and designer of the Cobalt-60 beam unit. Welcome. Dr. Sandy Mackay and Miss Meredith McLeod, who are actually children of Mr. John McKay, who is the builder of the Cobalt-60 beam therapy unit. I have to admit, when I found out what the name of his store was, which was the Acme Machine and Electric Company, I did burst out laughing as a Roadrunner went through my head, but we'll talk about that later. I'd also like to introduce the Honorable Sylvia Fedoruk, former Saskatchewan Lieutenant Governor and graduate student, who actually assisted Dr. Johns in the design of the Cobalt-60 and the calibration of the Cobalt-60. Ms. Rhonda Spees, Manager, Corporate Philanthropy of the Potash Corporation. Ms. Beth Horsberg, Associate Vice President, Research, Health, University of Saskatchewan, and Vice President Research and Innovation, Saskatoon Health Region. Another busy person. Mr. Scott Livingston, who is here with the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency. Mr. Jack Hay, the chair of the Western Development Museum. And Ms. Carol Bruce, the Western Development Museum board member. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Ruth Bittner, who's the collections curator with the Western Development Museum. Please join me in welcoming them to today's ceremony.